Hei alle sammen, og tusen takk til Computer World for at vi får lov å få denne muligheten til å presentere et svar på noen av de utfordringene som byggeiere har i forhold til en mer digitalisert forvaltning, drift og vedlikehold og utvikling av den bygningsmassen de har. Veldig spennende å høre på Kirsti, for at mye av det hun snakker om her, det svarer vi ut i bruken av digitale tvillinger, gjennom det å bruke alle sensordataene som finnes i bygg. Alle bygg i dag er stappet med sensorer, men bruker vi de sensorene til noe fornuftig? Nei, vi gjør ikke det. Gjennom digitale tvillinger så kan vi begynne å bruke sensorene til noe fornuftig, og Siva kommer til å vise oss mer av det i dag. Så vi som snakker her, det er det meg, Halvor Jensen, leder for NTI AS, som skal si noen forum etterpå, og Siva Koppula, som kommer fra Autodesk og sitter i England og tar dette på engelsk etterpå. Får vi tilsett presentasjonen? Ja, og den kommer også ut på nettet, den filmes, så den kommer ut på nettet i tillegg. Superkort om NTI. NTI er et selskap som ble etablert i 1945. Jeg tror det er et av de IT-selskapene i Norge og Europa som har lengst fartstid. Vi begynte ikke med IT i 1945, da produserte vi tegnebord og solgte de i Danmark, som er eierlandet vårt, og i Europa, Norge og Norden og Europa. Vi har jobbet med de samme kundene, byggenæringen, industrien, siden starten i 1945, og i dag er vi et helt digitalt selskap. De siste tegnebordene gikk ut av selskapet i 1994. Da ble det siste solgt, og produksjonen ble lagt ned. I dag er vi helt digitale, det meste går i sky, og alt vi snakker om i dag går også i sky. 62 ansatte i Norge, ca. 600 ansatte i Europa, er vel kort om oss. KPMG gjør mange undersøkelser, spennende undersøkelser. En av de undersøkelsene, nå har jeg tatt ut veldig lite utdrag, men jeg har gjort en stor global undersøkelse blant arkitekt og ingenieringsselskaper, entreprenører og byggeiere, og svarene de finner er det spennende. Blant annet så ser vi at 95% av den verdien som dere som byggeiere som sitter her, altså den investeringen dere legger ned i BIM-modeller, den går ubrukt gjennom verdikjeden. Hele 95% blir aldri brukt. Så det legges en stor investering å få frem gode modeller, hvor 95% bare er der. Det er et voldsomt potensial i disse modellene. 71% av eierne de indikerer at innsamling, lagring og tilgjengeliggjøring av mer data fra design- og konstruksjonsfasen er kjempeviktig for å få en god driftsfase. I dag så tar det mellom noen måneder og kanskje et par år å få på plass driftsdokumentasjon på et bygg etter at det er overtatt. Og når du får dokumentasjon, så finner du ikke frem i den. Og den ligger i en skuff i veldig mange tilfeller. Det vi forsøker å få til her, det er at vi bygger en digital tvilling underveis i prosessen, sånn at når vi har en handover til byggeier, så har vi et komplett sett av dokumentasjon til bygget, inklusive en modell som er hengt på sensorene som finnes i bygget. Og hele 82% av de som bygger i dag, og er involvert i denne næringen i dag, de sier at vi ønsker mer samarbeid i prosjektene våre. Vi må slutte å jobbe i siloer. Det er også et stort antall, og det peker oss kanskje i retning av samspillskontrakter, den type kontrakter, jeg vet ikke. Men i hvert fall, tar vi et sammendrag av undersøkelsen, så er det helt tydelig at den investeringen som er gjort i byggenæringen så langt, innenfor både BIM og annen digitalisering, den er ikke gitt de gevinstene som man ønsker seg. Digitale tvillinger, det er ikke noe nytt. Det har vi hatt lenge. Det kom vel med romfartsteknologien, tror jeg. Men det som er nytt, det er at skytjenester og softwareteknologi har gjort det mulig å koble sammen systemer veldig enkelt. Og en digital tvilling snakker vi mye om. Noen påstår at de har en digital tvilling bare de har skannet bygget. Jo da, du har en digital representasjon av bygget, men du har ikke en digital tvilling av bygget. Men en digital tvilling som vi snakker om det i dag, og sånn som vi som jobber med dette snakker om det, det er en dynamisk, oppdatert kopi av en fysisk ressurs, altså av et bygg, som samler design- og konstruksjonsdata og driftsdata, men i tillegg gir data fra sensorikk, fra bevegelsesmønstret vårt, fra bruksmønstret vårt i bygget, for å lære oss å forstå bygget, og for å bruke bygget på en bedre måte. Det kan være en bygg, det kan også være en oljeplattform, det kan være en fabrikk, det kan være hva som helst, der vi har digitale tvillinger. Og noen fordeler er blant annet enkel tilgang til informasjon. Det handler om utvidet bruk av data inn i driftsfasen, blant annet BIM-data inn i driftsfasen. Og det handler om en visualisering av den informasjonen vi har for å kunne ta bedre beslutninger. Nå Siva kommer til å vise mer om, hvor vi ser veldig tydelig at gjennom å bruke disse digitale tvillingene, så får vi informasjon om energiforbruket som Kirsti snakket om i sted, som sier at her er det alt for varmt. Vi har temperaturer som er alt for høye i dette området. Vi har et område vi ikke har brukt på 4 uker. Hvorfor skal vi ha vaskepersonell inn der? Vi har for dårlig luft i et rom, men vi har masse luftmengde i et annet rom. All den informasjonen kan vi få visualisert, og vi kan justere anleggene våre for å bruke energien mer effektivt. Digitale tvillinger gir businessmuligheter i stor skala. Og rådgiverne, entreprenørene som i dag leverer driftsdokumentasjon til byggeierne, har en stor forretningsmulighet i denne verden. Det handler om å ta kontroll for å det handler om å tilby levering av digitale tvillinger som en betalt tjeneste. Vi må fortsatt samle inn data, men i stedet for å samle inn data i et eksternt selskap som prøver å finne all informasjon de to neste årene etter at du har overtatt bygget, så samler vi inn data underveis. Når den leverandøren som leverer pumpene inn i et bygg, er inne og leverer pumpene, så har det en prosedyre som sier at du skal samtidig overlevere data på disse pumpene du har levert og installert, rett inn i den digitale tvillingen. Da er dokumentasjonen overlevert. Og det er gjort, og det ligger der. Etablere prosedyrer for overlevering under levering av utstyr inn i bygget. Så det å skape forretningsmodeller og langvarige kundeforhold med lange kontrakter for de som leverer driftsdata, leverer driftsdokumentasjon, de som leverer bygg over til eiere, er en stor forretningsmulighet. Og kan gi et unikt og godt konkurransefortrinn. Her er også store businessmuligheter for de som er eiere, gjennom å få kontroll og bedre resultater. Ta kontroll over bygget og overlevering av bygget. Ta bort disse siloene vi ser i dag. Vi kan snakke med byggeiere som snakker om at de har 5-6 systemer. Det er sikkert noen i salen her som kjenner seg igjen, som ikke snakker sammen. Det er siloer mellom de ulike enhetene, og informasjon flyter ikke. Gjennom et system som for eksempel Autodesk Tandem, så kan vi bruke tredjeparts software som kobler systemene sammen, sånn at det du gjør i ERP-systemet, Microsoft Dynamics for eksempel, det fores inn i den digitale tvillingen og vises der som et visningssystem. Det du gjør i SuperOffice på ticket-siden for eksempel, det kan fores rett inn her og vises og kommunisere på tvers. Får det en alarm i tvillingen, så går det ticketet ut fra SuperOffice for eksempel. Hvis vi setter opp de koblene. Det gjør ikke det i dag, men det kan gjøre det. Ta kontroll over driftsdokumentasjon er et annet stort tema her. Så jeg bare ruller litt ned på manuset mitt, så jeg husker hva jeg skulle si. Og det er også store muligheter for å redusere driftskostnadene. I det hele tatt, store muligheter for byggeierne å gå over til å ta i bruk den digitale representasjonen av bygget i større grad enn i dag, kontra å sitte med PDF-dokumenter og kanskje en IFC-fil på en minnestikk i en skuff. Da tror jeg kastet ballen over til Siva. Siva, welcome. And thank you very much for helping us with this.
Yeah, sure.
This is a new software in Norway. It's the first time it's shown in Norway, I think. Maybe somebody has seen it, but I don't think they have. So it's the first time in Norway. Autodesk has worked with this for some years. And Siva is an adoption specialist sitting in the UK, and he will help me with the demonstration today. So, welcome, Siva.
Yeah, good morning, everyone, and thank you, Halvor, for the nice words and introduction and context. So, my name is Siva, and this is just a safe harbor statement before I share the product and show some of the features, because I will be sharing some future development plans with you today. This is just to say that those plans could change depending on the market conditions and strategies. So one of the first things we get asked when we talk about digital twins is how do we go about developing digital twins? How do we go and improve or evolve those digital twin solutions as we start building them? So Autodesk, when we started looking at Tandem or digital twin solutions way back in 2000, I think about around 2000, there was a white paper published by Verdantix, and they came up with this framework or maturity model for digital twin. So we tend to use this digital twin maturity model within Autodesk and also using it in developing our own digital twin solutions around Tandem. So the first one is called as a descriptive digital twin, which is basically involves using your design data, construction data, all the BIM data that you are collecting as part of design construction process, and creating virtual or a digital asset of your of your physical asset. So it's creating a digital replica of your physical asset. Then the next stage is the informative digital twin. So the informative digital twin is then you're connecting your digital twin with the operational data and with the sensor data. So that's where you are establishing the bidirectional link between your physical and the digital assets. The next step up from there is the predictive digital twin. So the predictive digital twin is then trying to leverage or use all of the information that you have collected during the operational phase using sensors and so on, and then using some machine learning and AI algorithms to make some predictions out of that. The next one is the comprehensive digital twin. So comprehensive digital twins are then able to use some what if scenario analysis and run some simulations and do some analysis based out of that. The final one is the autonomous digital twin. So autonomous digital twins are almost like self-healing, self-tuning digital twins that can react or take some action based on the predictions, on the simulations, and maybe automatically generate some tickets for maintenance and so on. So that's the maturity model we use. Currently, the Tandem, the product that I'm going to show you, is at maturity level 2. So we can create a complete digital twin out of it. We also call it as a handover digital twin or a descriptive digital twin. And then we are also able to connect that digital twin with the sensors, with the operational data, and with other enterprise systems as well. So that's where we are with the Tandem. I'll try to briefly cover maybe 2 use cases. The first one is how do you go about building a digital twin? How do you go about creating a digital twin? Typically we use a three-step process or 3 process. I'll try to break it down into 3 processes here. The first one is all about why do you need a digital twin? So the purpose, the objective of the digital twin, and that will then define what are your data requirements. How do you want to organize your assets? What parameters do you need? What is the structure you're going to use for that? So all of that information. Then we go about actually building the digital twin itself. So that's the process of aggregating your BIM data and then connecting it with other sensor data or connecting with other operational data, assigning a classification and so on. And then we are also working on a dashboard. So that is future. It's not there today, but that's something we are actually working on. Is a portal or a dashboard that gives you an indication of the status of your digital twin building. How many assets have you built in the digital twin? What is the status? What is the quality? And so on. So I'll try to quickly show you how it looks. So if I switch over to my application here. I have some videos, but I thought I'll show you live.
You take a risk, we show live.
Yeah.
It's always a risk.
Yeah.
For software vendor to run things live, especially when it's in the cloud.
So this is the Tandem product. It's a web-based product, so there's nothing to install, download, or anything. Oh, you don't say that. I need to duplicate the screen, I think. Yeah. Okay. So this is a product. It's a web-based system. It's a cloud-native solution. What you're seeing here is actually an Autodesk office in Toronto. And this is actually a real building, so there's nothing fake here. Everything you see here is real. It's all happening now, kind of thing. So the way it works is, I was saying, you first define your data requirements. So that's called as a classification. So we have here a classification system based out of master format. But there are other formats like uniformat. There's a uniclass. And these are all out-of-the-box templates we provide. And this could be one way how you organize your assets. But you can create your own systems. So we have created a lot of our own systems here, like something like a very small, very basic one. You have doors, and then within doors you have access doors, exterior doors, interior doors, lighting systems, and so on. So this is completely customizable. It is whatever you want to use it for your type of facility. So you could have one for hospitals, one for commercial buildings, one for plants, one for factories, and so on. So completely configurable. You can download that, edit in Excel, import it back into Tandem. So you can use tools like that. So once you have this data organization or asset classification, the next thing you are thinking about is what kind of parameters do I need for these assets. So if you have doors here, what kind of information do you want to store with the doors? That's called as parameter information or properties. And here we have a data dictionary, a big list of parameters. Again, these are something that are there out of the box. We have a library here, then we can create our own parameter list. You just come here, specify the parameter name, specify the category, specify if it's an element or a type property or a space property or a facility property, and then you can also specify the data type, whether text, number, date, time, or a link to a document or a link to a URL. So you could link any document that is on SharePoint site or on your internal website or anything like that. And then you create the facility template itself. So to create a facility template, you use a classification. So one of the classifications we defined earlier, and then you give it a name, and then you save it. I'll not do that now. And then I can use one of these examples here. So for example, I can go here and select any one of these. So these are my assets, and these are my properties or attributes. So to add the attributes, I just go here, select the properties that I want, and say OK, and then that adds it here. So that's how you define your assets, and that's how you assign your properties to it. Okay. And then once you do that, you can start connecting your BIM data. So the biggest advantage of Tandem is if you are using Autodesk Construction Cloud or Autodesk Docs, all that you need to do is just connect to it. There's no import, export, convert, translate, none of those. You just connect to the BIM data directly. And the way that happens is you go to the files, you go to the import model data, Autodesk Docs. You can also, of course, upload the data from your local drive or network drive, so that's always supported. So this is your local. But if you are connected to Autodesk Construction Cloud, you can access the projects directly here, and you'll see the data coming up here. And you can these models are already loaded, so that's why it shows they are like disabled. So these are the models that you see here. And once the other big challenge with digital twins is you can always create one-off digital twins, but the challenge is how do you keep them updated? What happens if there's a change to the BIM data? How do you update your digital twin model with the changes? And that is really, really easy with Tandem. All that you would need to do is you go to your architecture. For example, this is one of the Revit models we have here. And by the way, we support Revit and IFC file formats, so both the file formats are supported. Here you can see this was updated a month ago. If there's a new update available for this, you just click on here, this becomes active, and you just hit on that button. It's that simple, and it updates the digital twin model for you. So the using of BIM data, leveraging of the BIM data, and also making sure that your digital twin is kept up to date with the changes to the BIM data is really, really easy with Tandem. So that's a very big benefit. The other things that we can do here once we have this, we have a lot of features for querying the data. So you can filter the data here. For example, you can say show me everything that belongs to a particular third floor. So I just push a button, and it shows the elements that are only available on that floor. Then I can actually save those views. So for example, I'll show you some of the saved views that I have. So Autodesk Office is actually on second or third floor of this building, so we don't own the entire building there. So I can just create a view like that, and that's the Autodesk Office in that big building. Then I have saved other views here. For example, I want to see systems view. So this is a systems view in that building. So here I can see all my MAP systems, everything. And at the moment, they are colored based on spaces. But if I wanted to color them based on categories, I just hit another button, and now I can see them based on color is based on the categories here. And I can also do something else, like, for example, let me show you another one. So here we have a view of all the furniture so this is Autodesk furniture in the 2 floors that we have. So all the tables and desks and everything else. If I want to generate an inventory by rooms, so all that I need to do is come here and say generate the inventory by room. And now you can see it's grouping everything by rooms. So I know with a click of a button what assets are there in which room. All right? And I can also export this information to Excel or some other software if I wanted. So I have here the asset name, I have here the level, and I have here the room number. Okay, so I can sort them by room number. I can of course select a particular one and go to that specific item. And if I want to know more information about that one, I can just click on it, and here is all the information that is related to that particular asset. This information is coming from BIM data or design data, so we have all of that. I'll also show you how we attach classification and how the asset information looks as well. So this is really very, very powerful and very, very easy. Likewise, we can generate views for different things. I'll show you one more view here. So this is a mechanical equipment view. So you can create one digital twin, but you can have multiple views based on the personas, based on the users. And if I click on any particular asset here, you see here all the asset information related to that. So you have the description, you have the ID, you have the installation date, you have installed by manufacturer, model number, and you can also have documents linked to it, like O&M manual is linked there. So with a click of a button, you get access to the information you need.
This is what I talk about when you I switch to Norwegian. It's easy. Når du setter opp bygget, og du har montørene som er inne og monterer, ventilasjonsentreprenøren for eksempel, mens de monterer, og før de får lov å gå ut og si at nå er vi ferdige, så skal den dokumentasjonen være overlevert inn i modellen. Og da fyller du modellen med info fortløpende mens du bygger. Sånn at når bygget er ferdig, så har du all dokumentasjon på plass med en gang. I stedet for å jobbe med det etterpå. Ikke connecte til modellen. Dette kan selvsagt også gjøres, som Kirsti sa i sted, de fleste byggene våre er bygd. Det kan selvsagt bygges opp på eksisterende bygg hvis man ønsker å gjøre det.
Yeah, and this can be whatever information your facilities management team wants. So this is completely customizable list here. It's whatever the user wants it. And this is really powerful because what we hear from people who are in the ops, maintenance and operations field is that they typically spend about 50 to 60% of the time just looking for the information. With a system like this, with a Tandem, the information is just a click away, literally. You just go to the asset you want and you just click on the asset and you get all the information there. So the next aspect I briefly wanted to cover is the next phase here, which is the operational side of the things, so the facility monitoring side of the things. Then again I'll switch to the video. So just wanted to say, so the next use case that we have is actually having the second level maturity. If you remember the maturity model I showed you earlier, this relates to that. It's an informative digital twin. Here we are able to connect the same facility to sensors and then visualize the sensor data inside the Tandem application. So we are also working on a dashboard here. The dashboard will show you if there is a sensor that is out of range, then that particular sensor will change to a red color or something, as you see here. So if I try to show you that part of the workflow, how it looks, so we are still in the same model. What I can do here is, because I've saved all those views, so it's the third floor of our building. I go to my streams, so sensor data is called as stream data. So as soon as I click on that, you can see the sensors popping up here. I can hover on any sensor here and see the sensor value. You can see the sensor value was generated 2 minutes ago. So these are all live sensors in the building and they are sending us data, I think pretty much every minute. That's how we are collecting the data at the moment. And I just hover over the sensor here and I can see the data. And if I want to see the charts for that, I just click on it and now I can see more detailed information for the sensors. And this is really powerful tool because what normally happens is you have BMS systems, you have sensors in your facilities, and you normally tend to get a typical current value from the systems. But if something is wrong and you want more information about it, it's not instantly available. You typically need to request your BMS maintenance team and they will probably send you an email, I don't know, a day or 2 days later with a CSV file for you to analyze the data. With Tandem, it's just a click away. You just come here and now you have that detailed access to it. You can zoom in to see the data every minute if you wanted to, or you can zoom out and say, I want to see the data for example, last week, and you can see what's happening. You can see there's a definite pattern happening here. You can do some analysis. Why is that pattern happening? You can say, show me the data for last 30 days. You can go back. Of course, you can also say, show me the data for last, I'll say, 24 hours. So from 15th to 16th. So it's completely configurable, and the information is just there instantly for you. And this is where we see a lot of savings for the facilities management and operations team. It is a massive benefit. So what we're trying to do is create an ease of use, so to make it easy to use, and also quick access, speed of access to the information. So you're really able to get a very fast, a very quick access to the critical information that you need for your asset management and facilities management. And also making it very easy. I mean, at the end of the day, we all want to do jobs that are quite fun, right? And easy to do as well. So we are trying to make it very, very easy to do as well. So going beyond that, what we have, the tools here is, because we have got these sensors, and because we have got these, because Tandem is able to do a spatial analysis, spatial query, it's able to do we are able to generate heat maps, for example. So you can say, show me the heat map for that temperature. So this is showing me the temperature distribution across the floor, and you can immediately identify hot areas and cold areas in the building. So it's not just the temperature. I can say, show me the CO2 distribution across my building. I can also say, show me relative humidity. Right? So these are all the things we are working on. And just to maybe turn it up, I need to change to extend. Okay. Okay, so just to wrap up then, what we are doing is, so this is a list of benefits we see. So, oh, you can't see. Yeah, so these are the list of benefits. You see, you get to know your asset very well. You have information right at the moment you need it, and you are able to unlock actionable insights doing a detailed investigation of that. So the next thing we are working on is around, so I already told you about twin building and the facility monitoring. So that will be available as a beta release very soon. It's already available, and people who want to use it can test it. The next thing we are working is a portfolio optimization, so to work at a portfolio level. We also have a API integration. So we have a REST API with which you can import and export data from and to Tandem. We are also working on an SDK if you want to have a white label digital twin application with your own branding and so on. And then we are going to publish extensions to Tandem as well. To enable easy integration, we are collaborating with a company called Rico that provides like about 250 out-of-the-box integrations with systems like SAP, Maximo, SCADA systems, sensor systems, and so on. So it's like an out-of-the-box integration with so many different systems. And if any of you want to get started with Tandem, it's free. You can just log on and try to register for it. And we are there here. If anyone is more interested, please reach out to me, and we can definitely have a more detailed discussion.